Welcome back to Ask Dr. Clarke. Now, before we get into today's topic, keep in mind that all my resources for marriages in crisis are on my website, David E. Clarke, Clarke with an E in the end, davideclarkephd.com. Whatever your marriage crisis is, I've got a specific plan of action for you. I've got a book that will fit your individual crisis, your couple crisis too. And you can do a 45-minute phone advice session with me too, so I can get the background and nail down the right strategy to give you the best chance to save your marriage. Okay, today's topic is my spouse won't forgive me. I've gotten several questions on this topic in recent weeks, and I thought I'd address it in one of these Ask Dr. Clarke videos. Okay, here's the scenario. Let's say you're the sinner. You have sinned big time and deeply hurt your spouse. An adulterous relationship would certainly qualify. Another form of sexual sin, pornography, massage parlors, these miserable strip clubs, lying, chronic pattern of lying, an addiction, money mismanagement. Now let's say this, you have repented, you are desperately sorry, you're in full recovery, you are very sorry, as I said before, you're really sorry, that's why I said it twice, but your spouse will not forgive you. Not happening. Still living together, perhaps, maybe separated, but you're not getting forgiven. It's been a year, it's been 18 months, it's been 2 years, it's been longer, and there's no forgiveness going to come. Here's what I want you to do. First, make sure you are truly repentant. People say they're repentant and they're not. You need to be truly repentant. You're incredibly sorry for your sin. Your attitude is one of brokenness, and I'm super sorry. You own 100% of the blame for your sin. If you're going to blame your partner, your spouse, for any part of your sin, they're not going to forgive you. And they're not going to be able to, at least in terms of reconciliation forgiveness. You own all the blame for the sin. You have done individual therapy to fix this issue, maybe some group process too. You're in full-blown recovery. You've stopped the sin and you're walking with the Lord. You have an accountability partner. If all those things are true, that's the first step. Secondly, if you've gone through my steps of recovery for sin as a couple, now if you haven't, again, that's what's going to hang you up. If you don't recover the right way as a couple, forgiveness isn't going to happen. Or it would be superficial at best, not deep, healing, reconciliation forgiveness. Now, these steps of recovery are in my book, I Don't Love You Anymore. I've seen them work over 30 years. They'll work for you too. If you're the one that did the sinning, you have to tell your spouse the entire truth about your sin. Had a case this last week where the man who'd sinned in an adulterous relationship had chosen to not tell his wife what happened. I said, you're out of your mind. The details are important. It's nobody else's business. It's her business. If you're going to come back to my office, you're going to not only tell her verbally everything that happened, but you're also going to write the story of your sin out and read it here in my office. He didn't like that very much. Not sure I'm going to see him again. Whatever. That's how it's done. He wants his wife to forgive him now. He doesn't even know what's happened. So you got to go through the steps of forgiveness and reconciliation, which is telling your spouse the entire truth, writing it out and reading it to her. Your spouse will write what I call the document of response back. Just visceral, honest, raw sewage of just shoving it out of our system. How dare you? I can't believe this is healing. These are steps towards forgiveness. You'll have many conversations over several months about your sin. Could be 4, 5, 6, 7 months. As much as a year if it's a serious sin like adultery. Your spouse will vent. Your spouse will ask questions. You're kind. You're gentle. So if you've gone through, you're in individual recovery, you've stopped your sin, your attitude is good, you're broken, you're walking with the Lord, and now you've gone through the steps of recovery, as I just mentioned, and I Don't Love You Anymore, and your spouse still will not forgive you, still getting triggered, not going to let go, then it's time for some tough love. Not mean love, but tough love. I want you to stop asking for forgiveness. You're done doing that. You now have to change the rules of the game if you've done everything you can do. Also, tell your spouse you will no longer talk about your sin. You're done doing that. You won't listen to her vent. You won't answer her questions. This is like a hamster wheel now. It's not working. You're done doing that. Now, you continue to express love and meet her needs. That doesn't change. But you're done talking about your sin. You'll walk away. You will ignore her. That's going to upset her, whatever she's already upset. We're trying to move her past it. Shake her up. You ask your spouse to get into individual therapy. The one who's not forgiving is clearly now hung up with personal issues, family of origin issues, previous unresolved pain, transferring to you. She can't get by it. She's going to have to do some individual therapy. Now, you can't make her do it. You can ask her to do it. This will clean that out of the way so she can forgive you. If your spouse refuses individual therapy, then do the Matthew 18:15 through 17 steps of confrontation. Loving but firm. Of course, you've already confronted her. The next step is 1 or 2 witnesses. Have a friend of hers go confront, talk with her, then take it to the church. And then if she doesn't respond to those 3 confrontations, that's when you start pulling back from her, shutting down, shunning her, and frankly, considering physical separation, if it goes that far. Now, I recommend if you're the one that sinned big time, get my book, I Destroyed My Marriage. This will lead you through a series of steps that will get you into recovery, spiritual and emotional recovery, and give you the best chance to work through these issues and have your spouse forgive you. Now, if you're benefiting from these videos, finding them practical and helpful, certainly share them with friends or neighbors or people that you love in your family that you come across that need these particular topics. Use your social media. And also, if you subscribe to my YouTube channel and tap the like button, this will help us grow our audience so we can save more marriages.